Welcome back, Charles Family Farm. A lot of you guys want to know how we get all those great tomatoes that we have at our stand, or we think that they're great. But we're gonna go show you how that happens. We grow an awful lot of tomatoes. We get a lot of questions of, how do you guys get all those tomatoes? How do you grow all those tomatoes? How do you pick all those tomatoes? Jump in the truck. We're gonna show you how we get all those good tomatoes, or at least how we pick those tomatoes. So a little backstory or a little intro of our production. We grow close to 12,000 tomato plants. We grow it on what we call a Florida weave system, anywhere from 60, 70, 80 day time frame from the time that they're seeded or planted in their plastic till we get them like this. And this is the end result of what we want to give you guys. So we have Roma tomatoes, we have regular tomatoes, and we have yellow tomatoes. So let's go way back there in the field, because the guys are out there picking. Let's roll along. We just came past our green bean, so hope you guys enjoyed that little clip. But we're out here at the tomato field. We grow an awful lot of tomatoes. And even though it's the fall season right now, a lot of people think after Labor Day that tomatoes are done. We started way up there in our tomatoes. I think they were planted like the 10th or 12th of May. We have like 5 or 6 plantings that come the whole way down through. Today is September 23rd, and you can see all the green tomatoes. So that's a big misconception. Here in Pennsylvania, the great local produce is done in after Labor Day. I mean, we're gonna walk down through here. We're gonna show you our main man, Carlos, here. It's picking tomatoes. But here's the actual tomato plant in this plastic. We lay plastic, and so this is one whole plant. Here's a stake, and over here's a stake, and there's 3 plants in here. And as you can see, we string these tomato plants up. So the string is in between, or the tomato plant is in between the string. And that's what supports that with this stake. But you can see how loaded we are with tomatoes. Is there a lot of tomatoes, Carlos? See? Did you have some tomatoes for this week at our stands? A lot of tomatoes? Oh, these are, you're picking yellow tomatoes.
Maybe for 4 more weeks, 5 more weeks.
5 more weeks, 4 more weeks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at these tomatoes here. Beautiful tomato. As they come down through here, you can see some of the calls that we throw away. Some of the rotten ones are, you know, from rain and stuff. We don't pick anything that has some spots on it, where like this Roma tomato was just a little bit soft. But you can see he's just going down through here and picking, and we're gonna, like he said, we're gonna be picking this for, I don't know, 3-4 more weeks. But you can see we just put them in these buckets, and then we'll take them back to our processing shed, and every one of these tomatoes will get brushed and sized, and some of this stuff will come off, and you can just watch him pick here a little bit. You notice none of these tomatoes have stems on it. You watch him pick, he pops those stems off, because we don't want that stem making a mark right here on this tomato. So every tomato, he'll pop those stems off, and he'll pick up this side of the row, up this whole side of the row, and then he'll go on the other side to get all these tomatoes. How many buckets of tomatoes do you think you picked this year, Carlos?
Oh, mucho, jefe.
5,000? 10,000? Minutes, he's gonna have that bucket full. How many buckets do you pick an hour, Carlos, usually?
8, 9.
8, 9, 10. We'll load those buckets up either in that van, or you can see a bunch of the guys are down here, or in this trailer down here, and then we'll haul them up into our shed. We'll get a video of that shed and how we brush those tomatoes and size the tomatoes, but it goes through this machine, a stainless steel machine, and it brushes them and gets all the dust and the dirt and you know, rain spots off. That's basically, guys, how we keep tomato production. We started way up here, and throughout the season have worked through succession plantings. And succession plantings means about every 3 weeks we plant another 2,000 or 3,000 tomato plants, and that gives us a season until we're at here now. Now, some of these tomatoes might not make it. They'll get stung by frost. We will pick some of them green, but a lot of people want to know about vine ripe tomatoes, or if tomatoes picked green like this have the same flavor profile. If we pick a tomato like this, it'll turn red, but it probably won't have the best flavor as compared to a tomato like this that's just turning. This tomato will continue to ripe up, and the flavor probably won't change too much. It already has its vine ripened tomato flavor, even though it's what we call blush or breaking. But for us to pick a tomato, this is about as red as that we like tomatoes on the stalk. But what happens is when we pick that tomato, to pull that off, we could put a little bruise mark here. So we like picking the tomatoes, this one here, that's, you can see the difference in the color. They're a little bit firmer, and when we put them in the bucket, they handle a little bit better. As you can see, we got plenty of tomatoes here in Pennsylvania, but you guys have asked a lot of questions, especially here at our stand, and we're just gonna do a little more in-depth video with this YouTube video of how we get all these beautiful tomatoes from, say, the second week of June until the end of October. And it's through all these succession plantings we keep coming down through here, and now we're on our, this is actually our first pick in our last tomatoes. So we'll be able to pick these, like he said, probably another 3 or 4 weeks, bearing the weather. And as you can see over here, here's Roma tomatoes. I mean, they are just loaded in there. They need to, that's just a beautiful Roma tomato. I mean, look at all those tomatoes in there. We actually probably grow more Roma tomatoes than we do regular tomatoes, because we wholesale a lot of Roma tomatoes to restaurants and pizza shops. A Roma tomato has a little bit more meat in it, isn't as liquid, so for salads and different things, sub shops and pizza shops, they like the Roma tomatoes. The Roma tomatoes is probably one of our bigger crops of the tomatoes. We do grow, like you saw Carlos here picking the yellow tomatoes. You can see what he's getting. And what he does here is, see how these are yellow and these ones are breaking? He'll separate them out. So we'll go through these first, and in probably about 2 days, those will be like this color. But we also grow a lot of grape tomatoes. I'll take you over here and show you the grape tomato section. I think we need to cut back on the grape tomatoes, because we grow too many. We can't keep after them. Carlos, do we have any grape tomatoes?
Oh, poco grape tomatoes, isn't it?
So a little grape tomatoes? Mm-hmm. Should we plant more next year or less?
Yes. Less.
All right. I'll show you what our grape tomatoes look like. Sometimes I get so excited in the spring to plant stuff and go a little overboard with things, and we decided last year that we weren't going to pick as many grape tomatoes or plant as many grape tomatoes, but someone forgot to tell the lady that grows all our plants for us to not plant as many grape tomatoes. but we ended up planting them anyway. Right here is the grape tomatoes. I mean, and we picked hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of 5-gallon buckets of grape tomatoes out of here. I mean, they're still great, but we have way too many. Yeah, that's on the grape tomatoes. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, or this video, on the production of where your food come from. This whole point of this channel used to be called Field to Food. Now we changed it to Charles Family Farm. From the tomato patch with Carlos. I mean, these tomato plants are so big, I don't even know where Carlos is at. Where you at, Carlos? Huh? Oh, there you are. Tomato, you're growing the tomatoes too big. I couldn't see where you're at. Yeah? So you think we'll have some tomatoes for our market on Tuesday?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? Yeah. So anyway, guys, like always, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, smash that subscribe button, and share this video so more people like you guys can learn how your food is grown. That's the whole point of this channel. Thanks for watching how we grow the tomatoes and how your tomatoes are grown. And like always, man, I can do it today. Like always, just always remember it's 76 and sunny somewhere.